Well, thank you for your purchase. Maybe you purchased The Cultural Landscape by Rubenstein, or maybe it was Campbell's Bio in Focus, or hey, maybe it was Fraser's By the People. If you purchased one of these or another title that has up to 6 years of digital access with the print, then this video is for you. And again, this is going to be if you purchase social studies, science, or a lit title with up to 6 years of digital access. Now, Matt, what did they receive when they made this purchase?
Sure. Thanks, Brian. Now, Brian just talked about the print. So the first thing you should have received in your shipment is your hardbound textbooks, which you can see here. That takes care of that. Now, what about your digital access? What also should have come with your digital is these code cards that are shrink wrapped together. Now, how many code cards you got is going to depend upon the number of textbooks you ordered. So if you ordered between 1 and 50 textbooks with up to 6 years of digital, you would have gotten one of these. 51 to 100 textbooks with digital, you would have gotten 2 of these. 101 to 150, 3 of these. That's the pattern. Now, what's actually in these? And why did you receive one or multiple of these? Well, if you take it apart, they're broken up into 2 things. You have your code card and your access manual. Now, the first thing with your access manual, you want to make sure you keep this because this will walk you through teacher registration and student registration, no matter whether you purchased a science, social studies, or literacy product. So keep this with you. Now, the other thing you have is your code card. This is going to have your year 1 codes on it. Don't worry, we did say you purchased up to 6 years of digital. We're going to talk about in a second where your codes for years 2 through 6 are. But for year 1, you're going to open this up, look on the left-hand side, and you're going to see 2 codes. You're going to need a key or a penny to go ahead and scratch off the codes. But the first one is going to be your teacher code, and that will start with the letters SE, which stands for School Educator. Second one, SS, is going to be your student code. That stands for School Student. Now your teacher code is going to have 2 teacher redemptions on it. Now you might not need both of them, but we're still going to give you 2 teacher redemptions on a code card. The students is going to be worth 50 redemptions. That's why if you purchased 100 student textbooks, you got 2 of these code cards. Now the other thing you need to watch out is make sure you know what registration website you're going to. So on the code card and in the access manual, it will tell you our registration website, which is www.pearsonschool.com/access. I'll say that one more time because it's really important. www.pearsonschool.com/access. Teachers and students will go to that website to register their codes. After you register at that website, it's going to channel you into your Pearson platform that you're using. Something like masteringbiology.com or myhistorylab.com. But you got to make sure you go to that registration website first. Now, teachers, you need to make sure that you register first. So, teachers, take your teacher registration code and go to that pearsonschool.com/access website. After you register, it's going to channel you into your Pearson platform where you'll create your course. Now, you might have to create multiple courses depending upon the number of sections you're teaching. After you create each course or one course, it will create a course ID for you. And then when your students register, they'll need their student access code and the course ID. The course ID is going to be what's going to put them into the course that you want them put into. And don't forget, each student registration code is good for 1 year. So that brings us back to the question, how do I get codes for years 2 through 6? Brian?
Yeah, so let me jump in here. So as a teacher, you do not need to register again, but we need to get our student codes for years 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. And the way that's done is you will be emailed as a teacher a link to go ahead and get those codes. Now, if you're not sure or you have further questions, it is in your registration manual, and you'll see a spot towards the end that talks about renewal access for years 2 through 6. So you should be all set. Now, Matt, we've talked about a bunch here, but we haven't talked about training and what that might look like.
Sure. So the first thing your account general manager might have already set up training for you, and somebody might be coming out to your site. Now, if that's not happening, we have two other options for you. The first option is the Pearson platform you're using. So after you register, you'll be using a website like masteringchemistry.com, mypolyscilab.com. On those main websites, there's going to be a hyperlink there, something that says training videos, help videos. Those are for you that have been created. So feel free to watch those, stop those, pause those. Now the other thing you can do is you can set up a free webinar with you as a teacher or with your whole department. Now how do you do that? You're going to go to our training website, that is www.mypearsontraining.com. I'm going to say that one more time again, www.mypearsontraining.com. You can go on that website, you can create an account, and then search your platform, whether it's Mastering or MyLabs, and go ahead and request a free webinar from somebody at our company.
Now, as a recap, we've talked about, when we're buying print plus digital with 6 years. So, for example, these books, and we're receiving these materials. So with that being said, we thank you for watching. Bye.